For a long time, I believed that wealth was a privilege restricted to a few, something that depended solely on luck, inheritance, or circumstances that were beyond our control. I saw people working tirelessly, dedicating years of effort and sacrifice, but never being able to free themselves from financial worries. Meanwhile, there was a select group who seemed to understand something that others didn't. Successful businesses, profitable investments, sound financial decisions, everything seemed to happen almost naturally to them. And it was at that moment that I began to wonder, is there a pattern? A set of invisible principles that some people follow and others ignore? It didn't take long for me to notice something in common among many of the world's greatest businessmen, investors, and financiers. A large number of them came from Jewish families. If you pay attention, you will see that Jews throughout history have always had a very peculiar relationship with money, whether it's in commerce, real estate, financial markets, or technology. This community thrives consistently, regardless of economic downturns or challenges faced. And it is not by chance. There is a set of rules that guide your way of thinking, acting, and building wealth. The most impressive thing is that these principles are not taught in schools. You can spend your whole life studying economics, management, or any other financial course, and still learn nothing about these rules. They are not in traditional manuals, but are transmitted within Jewish families and communities as part of an ancient teaching that has ensured prosperity generation after generation. What makes these commandments so powerful is that they're not just about making money. They involve a strategic mindset, a way of operating that maximizes opportunities, protects resources, and ensures continuous growth. And here's the best part. These rules aren't exclusive. You don't have to be born into a Jewish family to apply them. They do not depend on religion or origin, but rather on mentality and action. Anyone who understands and puts these principles into practice can experience a significant financial transformation. The only difference between those who prosper and those who stagnate is knowledge and the right application of that knowledge. That's why, in today's video, I'm going to reveal to you the 10 Jewish commandments of wealth, time-tested principles followed by some of the most successful people in the world. If you apply these teachings in your life, you will see how your relationship with money will change completely. You will learn how to make smart financial decisions, multiply your opportunities, build a solid wealth, and ensure stability for the future. But I need to give you a warning. What you're going to learn here isn't about easy shortcuts, miracle schemes, or empty promises of quick money. Jews have not prospered throughout history because they have found easy tricks, but because they have applied strategies that actually work, generation after generation. These are long-term principles that create wealth in a sustainable way and shield finance against crises and uncertainties. The most powerful of these commandments is not only the theory behind them, but the way they can be applied to one's reality. Each person has a unique financial journey, specific challenges, and personal goals, and that's exactly why sharing experiences and insights is so valuable. When we exchange ideas, learn from each other's mistakes and successes, find new ways to act, and see opportunities that we might never have considered on our own. So, I want to make you an invitation. Share in the comments how the wisdom of the Jews can help you. Write it down below so I can read and help you in the next videos. Also, if these teachings make sense to you and you want to keep discovering strategies that really help you achieve financial with the help of Jewish knowledge, this channel is your place. Here we explore Jewish prosperity principles, which are proven strategies for multiplying your income, making smarter financial decisions, and achieving financial freedom in a sustainable way. So before continuing, make sure you are already subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any of the upcoming content. After all, the right knowledge, applied strategically, may be what you need to unlock your next level of wealth. Now I'm going to show you the real secret of Jewish prosperity and begin to reveal the 10 commandments of Jewish wealth. Since ancient times, the Jewish people have understood something that many people have not yet realized. True wealth begins in the mind before it manifests itself in the bank account. This is the first commandment of Jewish prosperity and one of the most important. If you look at history, you will see that the greatest fortunes were not built only with hard work, but rather with knowledge and strategy. Money always follows those who know how to use it. It's not enough to just have a high salary or earn an inheritance. Without the right mindset and the right knowledge, even large amounts can quickly disappear. How many stories have you heard of people who won the lottery and lost everything in a few years? Or of athletes and celebrities who made fortunes and then fell into bankruptcy? This is because they have never learned how to handle money in the right way. Within Jewish culture, knowledge is the basis of any real prosperity. From an early age, children are taught to think strategically about finances. It is not uncommon to find young Jews learning about investing, business, and the value of money before they even finish high school. This is because they know that whoever masters financial education will never be a slave to money, but rather its master. Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors in history, is a perfect example of this principle. He spends 80% of his time reading and studying companies before making any investment decisions. For him, the more you learn, the better you decide. And that's the real secret. Money follows those who know exactly what to do with it. But just accumulating knowledge is not enough if you don't know how to give a purpose to your money. This is the second commandment of Jewish wealth. While many people view money as an end goal, something to be pursued and hoarded, Jewish tradition teaches that it should be a means to something greater. The big difference between those who simply make money and those who build real financial empires is that the more prosperous see wealth as a tool for growth, impact, and long-term stability. They know that money only brings happiness when it is used strategically, whether to strengthen their families, invest in knowledge, or support causes they believe in. That's why many of the world's richest businessmen are also major philanthropists. They understood that real prosperity is not just in accumulating, but in multiplying value. This does not mean giving money without purpose, but rather reinvesting it intelligently, in the business itself, in people, in new opportunities. Many Jewish entrepreneurs do this constantly, creating support networks and partnerships that strengthen the entire community. Now think for a moment. What is your true financial purpose? Do you want money just to pay bills and live worry-free? Or do you want to build something bigger, something that really makes a difference? This is one of the most important questions you can ask yourself, because money without purpose tends to disappear quickly. And this brings us to the third commandment, which may be one of the hardest to accept. Working harder doesn't always mean earning more. Many people believe that in order to get rich, they just need to work as much as possible, work overtime, take one more job. But this thinking is one of the biggest blocks to true prosperity. Jewish tradition teaches the concept of HISHTADLUT, which can be translated as strategic effort. This means that there is no point in simply working hard if your effort is being misdirected. You need to be clear about where to invest your time and energy so that your work really generates financial growth. Think of an entrepreneur who spends 12 hours a day in his business, solving every little detail himself. He wears himself out. He gets stressed. He feels like he's always busy. But at the end of the month, the company's growth is still slow. Now, compare this to another entrepreneur who invests in automation, delegates tasks, and focuses his energy on creating new opportunities and strategies. He may even work fewer hours, but the results he generates are much greater. This is because he understood that time is one of the most valuable resources we have, and using it in the wrong way can limit our growth. Instead of spending energy on operational tasks that could be delegated or optimized, he directs his focus to activities that really make a difference in business and finances. And this principle does not only apply to entrepreneurs. If you work in a traditional job, you need to think the same way. How can I increase my value in the marketplace instead of simply increasing my working hours? Perhaps the answer lies in learning a new skill, seeking a better position, or investing some of your money more strategically. The truth is that many people spend years striving without ever leaving the place because they haven't learned how to direct their work in the right way. And that's the big difference between those who thrive financially and those who are always struggling to make ends meet. These first three commandments of the Jews already have a great impact on the financial lives of many. Imagine the impact that applying these principles can have on your financial life. I'm here sharing this knowledge with you because I believe that prosperity should be something accessible to everyone who is willing to learn. So, if this content made sense to you, Reciprocate by leaving your like. This makes more people have access to these transformative teachings. Let's spread this message together. There is a financial mistake that many people make without realizing it, believing that saving money is enough to get rich. While saving is important, hoarding without multiplying is like leaving a seed in a pot, waiting for it to grow on its own. Money needs to be put to work, and this is the basis of the fourth commandment of Jewish wealth. Multiplying is better than just accumulating. Imagine two people who start with the same amount, say $10,000. The first decides to keep this money in her bank account, believing that she is doing the right thing by keeping her reserves safe. The second, on the other hand, invests this amount in an asset that offers an average return of 10% per year. After 10 years, those who kept their money in the bank may have increased their balance a little, depending on the interest rate, but inflation probably eroded some of that purchasing power. The person who invested, on the other hand, sees their capital grow exponentially, creating new opportunities every year. This is one of the main teachings that are part of the Jewish financial mentality. Idle money is not safe money. It is money losing value. True security lies in putting resources to work through investments, businesses, or assets that generate constant returns. Those who understand this know that financial freedom does not come from simply making money, but rather from the ability to make money multiply. And it's not just about big investors. Anyone can start multiplying their wealth with the right knowledge. Small investments in funds, stocks, real estate, or even in your own business can generate much greater growth than simply leaving money idle. The secret is to think like a wealth builder and not just a hoarder. Now, let's move on to a principle that may seem counterintuitive to many people. Giving money can make you more money. The fifth commandment of Jewish wealth teaches us that generosity opens paths to prosperity. The concept of Tzedakah, very present in Jewish culture, teaches that giving part of what you earn creates a flow of abundance that returns in unexpected ways. And here we are not just talking about charitable donations. This principle applies to financial life in a strategic way. When you invest in the growth of others, whether through mentorships, project support, or job opportunities, you are creating a cycle of prosperity that sooner or later returns to you. The world's great billionaires understood this principle long ago. Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, and so many others invest billions in philanthropy. But if giving away some of the wealth caused them to lose money, they would have stopped years ago. On the contrary, their fortunes continue to grow. This is because money is an energy that needs to circulate. The more value you generate for the world, the more return you receive. In practice, this can mean several things. It could be helping a small entrepreneur grow. It could be supporting a social project that has real impact, or even offering value before expecting something in return in a business relationship. This cycle creates powerful connections and opens doors that would otherwise remain closed. And if we're talking about creating opportunities, the next commandment is essential. Never depend on just one source of income. This is a mistake many people make, relying solely on salary or a single business, without having a plan B for when things change. Diversification is one of the pillars of financial security. If we look at history, we will see that Jewish families have always had this mentality. It is not uncommon to find Jews with more than one source of income: a job, a small business, investments, rental properties. They understand that relying on just one flow of money is a huge risk. If this source dries up, the person finds himself in an instant crisis. And the truth is that the world changes fast. Jobs can be lost, markets can collapse, businesses can run into difficulties. The only way to be truly protected is to make sure you have more than one way to make money. This may mean investing part of the salary, creating a side business, studying dividends, or developing skills that can be monetized in different ways. Now think for a moment. If tomorrow your main source of income disappeared, how long would you be able to support yourself financially? If the answer makes you uncomfortable, this commandment needs to be put into practice immediately. Now tell me, which of these commandments made the most sense to you? Maybe you're already applying some of them without realizing it, or maybe you've realized that you need to change your financial approach. Share in the comments how you see these principles in your life. Your insight can inspire others to take the next step towards prosperity. Let's continue. Money always follows those who know where and how to get it. But there's an even more powerful element than simply understanding finance. The right connections can open doors that money alone would never open. This is the seventh commandment of Jewish wealth, and one of the most underestimated by those who have not yet understood the true dynamics of success. From the earliest times, Jews have thrived not only for their financial intelligence, but also for their ability to form networks of support and collaboration. Jewish philosophy has always emphasized that no one builds wealth alone, which is why many financial opportunities happen within well-structured communities, where people help each other and share valuable resources, contacts, and information. Think about how many times you've heard of someone who got a great deal, a promotion, or a unique opportunity because they were in the right place at the right time. But it's not just about being in the right place. It's about being surrounded by the right people. Networking is not about simply meeting a lot of people, but rather creating strategic relationships that lead to new possibilities. Great investors, entrepreneurs, and financial leaders know that the best opportunities are not publicly announced. Many negotiations, investments, and partnerships take place behind the scenes, between people who trust each other and who know that a simple handshake can be worth millions. And this is not the privilege of a few. Anyone can develop a powerful network if they understand the right way to do it. The mistake that many people make is to think that networking is something forced or self-serving. But true networking is built on value exchange. If you only contact someone when you need something, you're unlikely to create solid connections. But if you're always willing to add value to others, the natural reciprocity of this process will make those connections stronger. Now, think about your own network. Are you surrounded by people who add value and who can help you grow? Or are you stuck in a cycle where no one talks about financial growth, opportunities, and investments? The environment in which you are inserted directly influences your worldview and your possibilities. And it's not just in the business world that this makes a difference. If you pay attention, you'll see that the most successful people are often close to each other. They attend the same events, exchange experiences, and are always open to new opportunities. Have you ever heard the phrase, "Tell me who you hang out with and I'll tell you who you are"? This is an absolute truth in the financial world. But just being surrounded by successful people is not enough. What sets those who truly thrive apart is the ability to control their money before it controls them. This is the eighth commandment of Jewish wealth, and one that makes the most difference in the long run. Having a big salary or making a lot of money means nothing if you don't know how to retain and multiply your wealth. Many people make the mistake of increasing their lifestyle whenever their income goes up. They start to earn more and automatically start to spend more, entering a cycle where there is never any money left to really build wealth. This is because most people have learned how to work to make money, but have never learned how to make money work for them. And here's the key point. What really matters is not how much you earn, but how much you hold and invest wisely. The Jewish mentality teaches that financial discipline is the pillar of prosperity. Great fortunes are not only made of high earnings, but of good financial decisions. And this starts by understanding the difference between income and wealth. Earning well can give you comfort, but it is the accumulated and invested equity that gives you financial freedom. While many people work just to maintain an expensive lifestyle, those who truly thrive build assets that ensure their long-term security. Think about what happens to athletes, artists, or even lottery winners. Many of these people go on to earn millions and still end up going bankrupt a few years later. This is because they have never learned to control money, and when you don't have control, money disappears quickly. The secret to maintaining and expanding your wealth lies in smart financial management. This means knowing exactly where your money is going, avoiding waste, living below your maximum spending standard, and above all, constantly investing to ensure growth. Many people believe that investing is risky, but the real risk lies in not investing and letting your money be eroded by inflation. Keeping track of your finances means understanding that every dollar you keep idle without a strategy is losing value. And precisely if there is something that separates those who prosper financially from those who always live one step behind money, it is the ability to see opportunities before others. The market, businesses, and investments work in a cyclical way. There are always chances for growth, but few are ready to take advantage of them. This is the 9th commandment of Jewish wealth. Opportunities are always around, but only those who are prepared can see them. People tend to believe that those who become rich were lucky or in the right place at the right time. But the truth is that preparation precedes success. Those who always seem to make brilliant financial decisions have spent years studying, accumulating knowledge, and strategically positioning themselves to act quickly when the right time has come. An experienced investor does not decide to buy stocks or real estate overnight. He has already observed the market, knows how to identify the best entry and exit times, and has capital ready to be moved. And this view doesn't just apply to large investors. Anyone can adopt this mindset on a daily basis. A professional who is always learning new skills and expanding their network becomes one of the first to be promoted or to receive a better job offer. A small business owner who keeps up with changes in the industry can notice a new trend before competitors and launch an innovative product. In Jewish culture, this preparation does not happen by chance. From an early age, children are taught to analyze the world around them, seek knowledge, and understand that education should not stop at school. Continuous learning is seen as a valuable investment because the more a person knows, the more prepared they are to recognize and act on the opportunities that arise throughout life. But just seeing opportunities is not enough if you don't know how to build wealth in a lasting way. This is the 10th commandment of Jewish prosperity. True wealth is built in the long term. Many people seek to get rich quick by betting on dubious financial schemes, investing in businesses without planning, or spending all the money they earn without thinking about the future. This behavior is the opposite of the Jewish mindset, which always prioritizes financial stability and sustainable growth over the years. The difference between those who create fleeting fortunes and those who build a lasting wealth lies precisely in the ability to think beyond the short term. While many see money as something to be spent immediately, the most successful see it as a tool to generate more wealth. This principle explains why many of the world's wealthiest families remain financially stable for generations. They understand that prosperity is not just about high momentary gains, but about smart and consistent financial decisions. Instead of overspending whenever they make the most money, they invest first, build assets, and ensure that their wealth keeps growing. If you look at the financial habits of the most successful people, you'll see that they always prioritize investments in income-generating assets, such as real estate, stocks, and their own businesses. They know that even if the market goes through ups and downs, well-built assets always appreciate in the long term. Building wealth requires patience, discipline, and strategic vision. Think of the wealthiest entrepreneurs and investors. Few made their fortunes overnight. Most followed a path of progressive growth, reinvesting profits, diversifying assets, and ensuring that every financial decision led to a financially secure future. This long-term thinking is also essential for those seeking financial independence. Building solid wealth takes time, but that's what allows you to have real financial stability and freedom. Those who understand this are not only concerned with quick gains, but rather with ensuring that their wealth continues to grow throughout their lives, and, if possible, for generations. After everything we have talked about here, it is clear that wealth is not the work of chance, but the result of a set of well-structured financial choices and habits. What separates those who prosper from those who are always struggling to get out of the place is not luck, but applied knowledge. This is how, over the centuries, Jews have built fortunes and ensured prosperity for generations. They didn't just make money, they knew how to keep it, multiply it, and pass it on. Each of the 10 commandments of Jewish prosperity that we have seen here carries a powerful lesson, and the most important thing now is to understand how to apply them in your daily life. Building wealth doesn't require secret formulas or impossible opportunities. It requires consistency, strategic vision, and well-made decisions over time. Small changes in your mindset and financial habits can completely transform your life in the coming years. Now tell me, which of these commandments is already part of your life, and which one made you see something that needs to change? I want to know your vision. Share in the comments your experiences, challenges, or even an insight you had during the video. Who knows, maybe your story inspires someone who is going through the same path. Let's grow together, and to continue discovering the financial principles that have made Jews one of the most prosperous peoples in the world. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here, we are creating a community for those who want to learn how to build wealth intelligently and sustainably. In the next video, you'll discover the financial strategies that Jews use to grow and protect their wealth, principles that have been tried and applied for centuries that can completely change the way you deal with money. If what you've learned so far has already opened your mind, wait until you see what's next. Click here and come take the next step towards your financial freedom.